The active drawing window has a special toolbar called the navigation bar. The navigation bar contains tools for navigating within the view, including the steering wheels and zoom tools. By default, the navigation bar appears on the right side of the active view. You can start any of the navigation tools by clicking one of the buttons on the navigation bar. For example, to zoom into a rectangular area, you can click the Zoom In Region tool and then click and drag inside the drawing window to define a rectangular area. You can also use one of the other tools by selecting from a list that is displayed when you click the small arrow below one of the buttons. For example, if you click the small arrow below the Zoom In Region tool, you can see a menu listing the other zoom options. You could click Zoom to Fit to zoom out so that the view once again fits the drawing window. You can reposition the navigation bar if you wish. To do so, click the Customize button, the small arrow in the lower right corner of the navigation bar, to display a menu, and then expand the docking positions flyout. Now, by default, the navigation bar is linked to the view cube. When this option is enabled, if you choose a different location, such as the bottom left, notice that when working in a 3D view, the view cube and the navigation bar are both immediately repositioned based on your selection. If you clear the Link to View Cube option, you can then click the grip handle near the top of the navigation bar and then drag the bar to reposition it along one of the sides of the current view. If you reposition the navigation bar near the top or bottom edge of the window, it changes to a horizontal orientation. Be aware that the navigation bar only appears in the active view window. The Customize button also lets you choose which tools appear on the navigation bar. By default, all of the available options will be visible. You can turn tools off by clearing their checkmark. For example, if you don't use the steering wheels, you can clear its checkbox. Now, the steering wheels tools no longer appear in the navigation bar. To restore a tool, simply click the Customize button again and reselect its checkbox. Notice that although the View Cube appears in the list of available tools, it is grayed out in the Customize menu. As you've already seen, the View Cube and navigation bar are closely related. Whenever the View Cube is visible in the drawing window, it does not appear in the navigation bar. However, you can disable the View Cube so that it no longer is visible in the drawing window. You can do this by switching to the View ribbon, clicking on the User Interface button, and then clearing the View Cube checkbox. Now, by default, the View Cube button appears in the navigation bar. You can then restore the View Cube to the drawing window by clicking on the View Cube button in the navigation bar. You can also control the opacity of the navigation bar. If you click the Customize button and then expand the Change Opacity flyout, you can see that by default, the navigation bar is 50% opaque. You can change this by choosing one of the other settings. If you choose 0%, the navigation bar will not initially be visible in the active view. But if you move the cursor near the edge where the navigation bar is docked, it will then become visible. In most instances, you will probably want to leave the navigation bar set to its default 50% opacity.